the VAT on private schools. And this is one of those articles that I had to read 3 or 4 times to try and get my head around. But this policy is going to yield nothing, absolutely nothing. I was speaking to somebody who knows about finance as I was going through it. And the Labour government said, for example, they were going to get 1.7 billion from the VAT from these private schools. It simply isn't going to happen. So the OBR have now revealed that policy didn't include any additional state spend. So funding per head in England is about £5,370 per pupil. But then you've got to minus the 450 million for new teachers that they've pledged, the 365 million to feed children at breakfast time, which is ridiculous. The parents should be doing it anyway, and 15 million extra for nurseries based in these primary schools. They also found out that since this budget, a lot more private school pupils are now parents are looking to take their children out. So it was originally going to be between 30 and 40,000, they estimated, would be going back into the state system. They're now estimating it's going to be about 90,000 pupils, up to 90,000 pupils. Then you've got to take into account how much it costs for the special educational needs children, SEN children, which is state spending is about £10,000 per pupil on a child that needs special educational needs. So you've got all those figures. Then you've got 700 million just for the pupils that don't need the special educational needs. Then you've got to take into account the VAT those people aren't going to be paying because they're not going to be in the private system anymore. And then you take into account, for example, Eton are now claiming over £5 million worth of VAT back for capital projects in the last 10 years. That's just one school. So what's going to happen is by the time all these costs have come out, which Labour are not talking about and do not want to talk about, far from actually getting any tax yield at all, it's actually going to be a net drain on the economy. What we saw yesterday was a complete class war, and that private school VAT really sums that up massively. It's cutting the nose off to spite their faces, and you won't be able to fit these children back into the state system, and we certainly can't afford it.
That policy, you're right, had nothing to do with raising money. This was class warfare. This was a socialist Labour government, who many of them went to private schools, by the way.
Right, and the children.
Who turn around and say, it's unfair. It's unfair on normal kids that these other kids, parents, save up. I mean, some of them will be rich, and it doesn't matter how much you put on the VAT on schools, they'll pay for it anyway. But there's many people who send their children to schools, who scrimp and save, who forego holidays or buying a car because they want their kid to have the best education, the best start in life. And lots of them will be working class, lower, upper class, who are just average people. This is what they did with the grammar schools. It was all about saying this isn't fair. In which case, so rather than saying we're going to improve state schools so they're just as good as private schools, that's how this should be tackled. But they tackle it the other way around. They say we want everyone to be as poor and ill-educated as the secondary schools have managed to do. It's class warfare.
It is class warfare, but it's pull the ladder up and sod the rest, isn't it? Because it's all right for them to do it, like we just said. And even if there is VAT on it, these people can probably afford to pay the VAT anyway. Another one, look at Rayner. How much did she make on selling her council house when she bought it for a discounted rate? About 50 grand-ish she made on that. And now nobody else is allowed to do it. But she's done it. She made her money on it, but they're going to make sure that nobody else can. Like, Diane Abbott sent her kid to private school. And we'll probably never find out, but I bet you Starmer's kids go to a private school as well.
Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.